Iran has been at the center of global tension for decades. For years, it has appeared in news headlines around the world: sanctions, diplomatic pressure, political standoffs, and constant warnings of what might happen next. Yet, despite all of this tension, one thing is very clear: no major power has ever chosen to fight Iran directly. Not the United States, not Israel, not NATO. This is surprising to many people, because when a country is under so much pressure, you might expect conflict to follow. But that has not happened. So the real question is not why Iran is controversial. The real question is this: why does no country want a direct war with Iran? To understand the answer, we need to look beyond headlines and emotions, and focus on how modern strategy really works at first glance. Iran may seem isolated. It has faced international sanctions, it has tense relationships with many countries, and it often stands apart from Western alliances. But in reality, Iran is not as isolated as it appears. Iran sits at the center of one of the most sensitive regions in the world. It borders several key countries. It influences important waterways, and it is located near some of the world's most critical energy routes. This matters more than many people realize, because a direct conflict involving Iran would not stay inside Iran, it would spread outward very quickly. Oil markets would react almost immediately, shipping routes would face uncertainty, regional tensions would rise, and global economies would feel the impact. A war with Iran would not be a distant conflict. It would affect daily life far beyond the region, and leaders around the world understand this. Geography also plays a major role. Iran is a large country. It is not flat or simple. It has long mountain ranges, wide deserts, and an extended coastline. This kind of terrain makes military operations extremely difficult. Moving forces through mountains takes time. Operating in deserts creates logistical challenges, and long coastlines are hard to control completely. History has shown that wars fought in difficult terrain rarely go as planned. They take longer than expected, they cost more than expected, and they create problems that are hard to solve quickly. A fast and clean victory in Iran would be very unlikely, and modern powers are cautious about wars that have no clear end, because long wars bring political pressure at home. They drain resources, they test public patience, and they often produce uncertain outcomes. But geography is only one part of the picture. Iran's strategy goes much deeper over many years. Iran has focused on building influence beyond its borders. This is often called strategic depth. In simple terms, it means Iran is not focused only on defending its own territory. It has spent decades building relationships, influence, and presence across the region. Because of this, a direct war would not be limited to one place. It would likely affect multiple areas at once. This creates a serious challenge for any country considering confrontation instead of facing one. Clear battlefield decision-makers would face many moving parts, and the more complex a conflict becomes, the harder it is to control. For modern militaries, unpredictability is one of the biggest risks. Another major reason countries avoid direct war with Iran is the dire economy. Modern conflicts are not just military events. They are economic events. A conflict involving Iran would almost certainly disrupt global oil supplies. Even the possibility of escalation can cause prices to rise. Markets react to uncertainty faster than armies react to. Order shipping insurance costs would increase. Trade routes could face delays. Energy prices would affect industries worldwide. For many countries, this kind of economic disruption is unacceptable. Leaders are not judged only on military strength. They are judged on economic stability. If a conflict causes rising prices, job losses, or market instability, political support can disappear quickly. For many governments, the economic cost of war is simply too high. Then there is the issue of escalation. This may be the most important factor of all. Once a conflict begins, it becomes very difficult to control how far it goes. What starts as a limited action can expand rapidly. Allies may feel pressure to respond. Partners may get involved. Rivals may see opportunities in regions already filled with tension. Small actions can lead to larger reactions. History is full of conflicts that began with limited goals and ended far beyond what anyone intended. No major power wants to be responsible for triggering a wider crisis, especially in a world where global stability is already fragile. Because of all these risks, countries often choose a different approach. Instead of direct confrontation, they rely on indirect pressure. This includes diplomacy, negotiations, sanctions, and strategic signaling. These tools work more slowly. They do not produce dramatic headlines overnight, but they allow pressure without immediate escalation. They give leaders time, they preserve flexibility, and they reduce the risk of uncontrollable outcomes. For modern powers, avoiding direct war is often a strategic choice, not a sign of weakness. This is where deterrence comes in. Deterrence is not about aggression. It is about making the cost of conflict too high to justify action. In Iran's case, deterrence works in both directions. Iran understands the risks it faces, and other nations understand the risks of confronting Iran directly. When both sides see that the cost of war is greater than the benefit, restraint becomes logical. This balance may look unstable from the outside, but in practice it often prevents open conflict. So why does no country want a direct war with Iran? It is not because the situation is simple, and it is not because the stakes are low. It is because modern wars are complex. They are expensive, they are unpredictable, and they affect the entire world. In today's interconnected system, even regional conflicts can have global consequences. That is why leaders calculate carefully. And that is why, despite years of tension, direct war has been avoided. In the modern world, the greatest victories are often the wars that never happen. And sometimes the strongest strategy is choosing not to fight at all. And if you want more deep dives into the hidden facts like this, subscribe and hit that notification bell.